as the microphone.
Yes.
It's fitting because it stood in as a friend on a lonely night, but who's counting that? So, new Pope, are we excited about this? We've got a new Pope now. I'm not Catholic, I'm not really into the papal elections, but I do like observing the big networks, the NBCs, the ABCs, around the papal elections, because all of a sudden everyone's religious. Diane Sawyer turns into Sister Mary Sawyer all of a sudden. Like, and it's funny because it's like, all right, I'll accept this in the vacuum that everyone, that everyone cares about this, except then they go to a commercial and they bump back in about the promos for 11, or like, at 11 o'clock, we go inside a prostitution room and have the photos to show you to prove it at 11. It's a little ridiculous. I don't know. But we do have Easter coming up, and I was looking on my phone at the applications that need updating. You know that? They whole list of them, 20 of them. And I had the Bible app, and it said it needed updating. That's the one app you never need to update. And then I realized, like, someone in a marketing agency behind the Bible app actually prompted this update. Like, what was he doing? Like, trying to expand the 18 to 49 males demo? Like, come up with a new idea for the Easter package? Like, guys, hear me out. So I think for Easter, we tweak the crucifixion scene a little bit. Instead of Jesus dying there, how about one of the disciples slips him an AR-15 and busts off the cross and starts going down Roman soldiers? It's our Easter package. They're gonna get those young males in there soon. So I do love sports. We got the March Madness. We're watching basketball all the time, day and night, right? I'm more of a fan of playoffs myself, like a best of 3 or best of 5. Because I feel like you should have a chance of redemption if you lose a game, like in the NBA or in baseball. And I want to take it a step further. Let's just implement playoffs into real life scenarios, right? Like, you go to a job interview and you don't get it, and they're calling you, like, look, Tim, you had a good interview, we're just gonna go with someone else. I'd immediately interrupt them and be like, best of 3. Excuse me? Best of 3, yeah. You come to my 1-bedroom apartment tomorrow, I'll put the coffee on, we'll just do this whole thing over again. Look, I mean, I had to travel 10 minutes yesterday, I was out of sorts, and we'll do this over again. If I win, I think I just get a chance for a home game. I think it's only fair. Just let me do that, and I'll win back my job. Wayne Gretzky is quoted as saying, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. And it's nice. That saying went onto every high school counselor's wall everywhere, and it's good in the fact that it helps a kid with like low self-esteem, get out there and take some chances. But you got to be careful to your audience who might hear this, just because like if you're a kid on a basketball team that's a horrible shot and he's in there and you tell him you miss 100% of the shots you never take, he's going to lose you a game. That 3-pointer as the buzzer goes, and it's just going to be an air ball, and you're going to lose. It could be worse though too. It could be worse than just a basketball game. Like you could have an evil communist sniper, right? Like shooting our politicians, and he decides, I'm going to turn myself in, guys. I'm going to turn around. I need to do good. Then he sees that poster. You miss 100% of the shots. The poster's right, and he's going to march right back up to the top of the building, flip that hat backwards, and start shooting people. It's a dark world we're in. I avoid using the word colored, not even as it pertains to race, just in general, because I'm worried about what someone might overhear. Like if I was at the supermarket, right, and I'm just like a passerby on my phone, and all you heard me say was, bring me the colored one. Like, you would think I'm racist, right? You just assume. But like, what if in my conversation I was talking about an Easter egg? Guys, like what if I was talking about a television from the 1970s? You would need that kind of description there to know which one to get. I mean, what if I was talking about a guy I know from the Old Testament named Joe, who had a coat, and it was colored. Colored egg on all your faces for judging me. There is a lot of talk in the news about the Second Amendment, right, the right to bear and keep arms. But I'm more concerned right now about the First Amendment, right to freedom of speech, press, assembly, religion. I love that amendment. What I don't love is that it took an amendment to come up with this idea that we're free to speak out. Wasn't this in the original draft? What was it like to be a fly on the wall, like in the Continental Congress when they come up with that? And they're like, probably some lower level guy like James Wilson rolls it out and says, gentlemen, this is the Constitution of these United States. And then there's got to be someone that proves it, before all the signatures on there. Probably Ben Franklin waddles in there, looks at it. And he's like, this is good, except for where's the part where we can speak out against our oppressors? I give you one task. One task, and you couldn't do it. He took his trifled hat, stomped on it, and probably stormed out of the room, fired a couple of people, I don't know, the founding fathers had one main task, and it was to make the USA not shitty like England. They couldn't do it in the original document. So, some guy, probably the same kind of guy that would come up with the Bible add-on, hear me out, what about an amendment? Add-on, tag it on. I don't know, the idea of that being an amendment, to me, it's like building a house with just one bedroom, and then you had to add on a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and 2 more bedrooms. Kind of a big deal. You guys remember clip art in the 90s? Illustrations, right? Yeah, I love clip art. I gotta think the clip art guy's long since killed himself, though. With the advent of Google Images, you get a perfect image that you want to illustrate your essay or your thesis. I think the only question with the clip art guy killing himself now is, did he use clip art in his suicide note? Like a shittily drawn noose with a stick figure and tears smearing over the HP inkjet printer. I'd like to think it did, I don't know. They say that art imitates life. And to that I say, art, you should really get some original material. I mean, if you're going to do impersonations this whole time, you're not going to get a lot of respect in the comedy community. You can mimic all you want, but you're not going to have a point of view. You're not going to get out there. You're not going to rock that boat. I mean, just think about it, Art. I've noticed that there are certain words, when added to a subject in a sentence, sort of downgrade the status of that word. What I mean by this is the word equivalent. You can have a high school degree, and you can have a high school degree equivalent. Those two are supposed to mean the same thing. They couldn't be further from equal. So then I realized you just add equivalent to anything. It has the same effect. Guys, I totally have a girlfriend. Equivalent. She works in a very lucrative law firm. Equivalent. And she makes a lot of money. Equivalent. But guys, money's not everything, okay? I generally regard myself as happy. Equivalent. Totally sober. Equivalent. Growing up in 6th grade, we were learning about ancient Greek culture, and each student was assigned a different aspect to do a project on. There's, art, architecture, religion, and I was assigned religion. Greek gods, Greek goddesses. I was excited about this. I wanted to learn more. I didn't know much about it. Except my dad, a conservative Christian, did not want me to learn about this, so he made my teacher switch my topic. Because my dad was worried I was going to convert from Christianity to Greek mythology. How dumb of a 6th grader did he think I was? I mean, fair point. Okay, you know what? Maybe I was a little too harsh there. You can't walk down the street without saying this fucking Greek mythologist trying to preach to you about Zeus and Hera, and then they're trying to get you to join up. And then you're giving all 30 of your money to the Socrates fund. You don't know what that is, right? You break out the Dionysus wine, you're hooked. You have to put more of your income into it. It's just like a pyramid scheme. So maybe I was a little too harsh to judge there. I noticed that there was a no loitering sign when I was walking nearby my apartment, and I realized they actually had a law attached to it. And I realized really it's a law to not loiter. It sounds a little ridiculous. Hey, you stop standing there doing nothing. I'm watching you stand there. It's fine. Stand there all you want. And people say oh, well, they're going to devalue my property. Well, they're not going to actually steal anything. They're just standing there. Or they're planning their burglary right now. Good, let them plan all day. They're not going to actually. Loiterers are the underachievers of the criminal world. They're not going to do anything. They can stand there all they want. No loitering feels it feels exactly like a law written specifically by my mom on a day when when the teachers have conferences and the kids are away at home, they have a day off. There's a chore wheel on the list. There's no loitering on there too. That's how I feel about that. My mom's actually in the crowd. That's kind of what I bring that up. I'll leave you this. I am a little upset with her. She made me go through piano lessons against my will. I took 8 years of piano, and my brothers and I, we all had to go through this. And okay, so our piano teacher, so we had this gay piano teacher, but he wasn't gay at the time. Like, he was married to a woman, he was an older gentleman, and we just didn't know he was gay. But I think we should have seen some of the signs. Like okay, for a straight man, he wore a lot of jewelry. That's fine, you can be Italian, that's okay. We didn't equate that with gay, we didn't, but the next thing we probably should have really caught on. The next thing he told us we needed to do was, in order to learn the song better, we had to put our hands on his hands and feel how the song was played. Okay, at that point, at 12 years old, I'm not touching my mom's hand across the street, let alone the chain-smoking 65-year-old's hand. So I got to put my hand on his rings, but still didn't catch on that he was gay. I think what we finally should have just been a light bulb of gayness, going off in our mind, was they told us in order to learn the song better, we needed to taste the vibrations of the song through his penis, and I thought, that's uncalled for, we don't need that. Okay, thanks guys, that's my time.